Hello students, today we are going to learn the next topic in chapter 4, that is the favorable and unfavorable conditions in the different types of rocks in the presence of various structural features. Let us see what are the favorable and also unfavorable conditions. So coming to the narrow river valley, yet let's taking as one condition here at the proposed dam site, if the river valley is narrow, what happens is only a small dam is required where you can see, but the cost of the dam construction will be also very less. On the other hand, if the valley is wide, a bigger dam is necessary, which means the construction cost will be also high. Okay, let me repeat. On the other hand, if the valley is wide, a bigger dam is necessary, which means the construction cost will be also high. Okay, so what happens is, therefore, it is preferable from the economy point of view to select such a site along the river valley in such a way that it has least a real construction, that is the narrowest part of the dam is preferred. Also, such sites should not be blindly selected without further investigations because sometimes they may have severe defects which may lead to serious leakages from the reservoir and may affect the safety of the dam. It is not always that you have to select the narrowest part. In selecting also you should be very careful because if you are neglecting, no, it will be more serious problem in the future. Okay, let me repeat. But such sites should not be blindly selected, should not be blindly selected without further investigations. Okay, without further investigations, because sometimes what happens is, because sometimes they may have severe defects which may lead to serious leakage problem, serious leakage from the reservoir, and that may affect the safety of the dam and may affect the safety of the dam. Okay, so coming to the bedrock at the shallow depth, to ensure its safety and also we have to ensure the stability of the dam, it is always necessary to rest on physically, that is very strong, and structurally very stable, that is bedrocks. So we have to select the bedrock in such a way that they should be strong and stable. If such competent bedrocks occur near the surface or also at the shallow depths, the foundation cost will be naturally less. Okay, but on the other hand, if the competent bedrocks occur at greater depths, the cost of the foundation will be very high because it involves extensive work of excavation of the loose overburden and concrete refilling. Okay, let me repeat. On the other hand, if the competent rock, what is competent rock? Strong and stable. Bedrocks occur at greater depths, occur at greater depths, the cost of the foundation, the cost of the foundation will be very high, will be very high. Why? Because it involves all the procedures. Because it involves extensive work extensive work of excavation of loose, overburden, and concrete filling. Okay, see, this is how it looks. Bedrocks at the shallow depths. Coming to the competent rocks for the safe foundation, what you have to understand. If the igneous rock occurs at the selected dam site, they will offer a safe basis. But if the weak sedimentary rocks are there, particularly the shales, they like poorly cemented sandstones and limestones, they should naturally will be undesirable to serve as a good foundation. Okay, so these are all the examples of the safe foundation. These are the competent rocks for the safe foundation. Okay, so coming to the suitability or otherwise of a site to serve a good purpose for the foundation for major dams depends on several factors like the existing rock type at the dam site, the extent of weathering, if it has undergone, the occurrence of intrusions, the extent of fracturing, the extent of geological structures, the mode and number of rock types concerned. Okay, let me repeat. The existing rock type at the dam site, the existing rock type at the dam site, like weak or strong, it depends upon the type of the rock which is present at the dam site, and the extent of weathering it has undergone, the extent of weathering it has undergone, like how much weathering it has undergone, because weathering will make the rock weak, and the occurrence of intrusions, the occurrence of intrusions, we should be careful like how is the intrusion occurred or not. Okay, then the extent of fracturing, the extent of fracturing, till how much depth or size the fracture can occur. Okay, then the extent of geological structures, the extent, this is extent, sorry, of geological structures, the mode and number of rocks, number of rock types concerned. Okay, these are things you have to take care of. Coming to the effects of associated geological structures, how does it affect? For the stability of the dam, the occurrence of favorable geological structure is very important requirement. So under structural geology, we have learned that those rocks bear certain inherent or original physical properties. Such characters get modified either advantageously or sometimes disadvantageously when the geological structure occurs in those beds. So it may affect to a greater extent. It can make stronger base or sometimes a weaker base. Coming to the reservoir. From the geological point of view, a reservoir can be claimed to be successful only if the water weight, that is, if it does not suffer from any serious leakages of water, that is called water weight, and if it has long life due to very slow rate of silting in the basin. Okay, then we have to consider that it is a good reservoir. The reservoir, when filled, gives chances for reactivation of underlying inactive faults. So, let me repeat, it will give a chance for these things. The reservoir, when filled, gives chances for reactivation of underlying inactive faults. If there are faults which are inactive also, in this condition when filled, they may get activated. Thus, in return gives scope for the occurrence of seismicity and landslides in that region. Okay, which will tend like give a scope for the occurrence of the seismicity. Let me repeat, because it makes the reservoir weak. This in turn gives scope for the occurrence of seismicity and landslides in that region. Okay, thank you.